Welcome to our lovely future humans, to the 5D Collective, and everybody who is part of our lovely IHP community. As we get ready for a little break for our long form content, we still have a couple coming on late IHP show tonight. So, being yourself, it's been fun talking about how many of our lovely sciences and spirituality are coming together. Well, it depends who you ask, but Christ consciousness is settling in. So that which is our ventral energy and that which is mental, emotional, and physical health and intelligence. Because once there's a bunch of trending topics that lead you right back home to where you began, and I get to share with you some stories potentially tomorrow. So being yourself means you're not fake, and it also means you're not a downer, which is how I felt about people who are faking it when they were teenagers. They're still faking it now, but now I'm all attachment trauma educated. So by being all attachment trauma educated, I have an understanding. So while I can get irritated, I definitely can get irritated by emotionally immature people. I mean, they're beyond the bejesus of an annoying group. At the same time, they're still fascinating, which is why I love to let you know that when we work as a collective together, those of you who do the paid content, once we're going to have the new stuff that I'm building for us to come together with, we get to like really bring it on. It's the fun part. So the difference between those who are emotionally, mentally intelligent and those who are not is that we are actually self-regulating. We love, we are at awe, so we know how to be meditative within ourselves. That's why we're not the spiritual bypassers. Those are the people who don't know how to be equanimous and discerning and loving, and they don't recognize God and his timber of, hey, all of you get down on the floor, you're all the same. And so when people are using the stories, the left brainers is what I call them, it's because I learned from another man about the left and the right. So it's very clear when you got an ego in town. They're not interesting. If anything, they're recognizable because of their low downer frequency. They're also little... So let me think. How can I bring it to you? It's kind of like Dennis the Menace. So it's a grown person, but it's a Dennis the Menace kind of thing. So while the therapist can help any of them who want to go and get help, if they don't, they're going to stay Dennis the Menace. So it's not a Lucifer, it's not a monster, it's not any of that, which is the exaggerated words of some of those people. It's lack of intelligence and lack of commitment people who do enjoy using bigger words. That's why sometimes it's fascinating to see those who get defined as charming by the Michael Stone forensic criminologist scales, the evil one. They're not evil to those who see right through them. They're immature, which is very much, again, unimpressive. Okay, so you stay still at awe and in love when you remember who God is, and cosmic karmic balancing that always takes place, which is where there's a consistent reminder of that, which is, hey, all of you, for those, again, who are in communion with God, not all, but the ones of us who are, we hear the timbre, we remember to be mindfully grateful, and then that's why mindfulness is really the sweet spot of the ventral vagal toning people. So you don't need to sit under a tree. You can. Mantras are really amazing. So are a lot of other sound frequency, trauma healing with the sound, stuff like that. But what is going to be helpful is that the person is doing the work with the good therapist, not by themselves. That reminds me, I'm going to look for my notes, because see, there's something that Dr. Daniel Siegel taught me when it comes to integration, which is why I make fun of Buddha. I'm like, okay, Buddha, man, you sat under the tree, but our lovely little angels, brothers and sisters, with the cloak of Christ, 5D consciousness, which is all of those who are using the beginner's mind. So they do know the impossible is made possible without having to hit rock bottom and talk about heartbreak in ways that are absurd. Cosmic heart. Okay, so we love. Thank you, Jesus. He suffered for sins. We love like he taught us. We're masters at Resh. That's the 5D collective. And here's Buddha. So we can laugh like he does, and we can know, like the Dalai Lama says, that it's our responsibility to bring joy to the world. So those who know this and that are true, that's our enlightened mental age group, and those are the people who are going to come back, because they're the truly intelligent minds. We're not influenced by our memory, implicit or explicit. We're not deluded by our imagination, downloads, any of it. And when we get into our fields, we know what's happening. And so we're going to be loyal to what we love, which is hanging out with each other. We will also be generous of spirit. Yes, because as Terry Real points out, generous isn't because you're looking for something back. You just do it. That's what kind intention means. That's also what Christ consciousness means. Now, if someone says, I forgave, they haven't forgiven. They're not in the prefrontal. They're still processing their emotions, which is fair and square because we all have it. But when you're here now, that's why the difference is our mindful, mindsight, and mindset exercises. They allow us to activate our future selves or just become your higher self. And therefore, with that, you get to be in a sacred space, yours, sensuality, no yucky stuff, none of that. Need of the sex is not a portal to your higher self. You are the portal to your higher self. In fact, actually, when it comes to the whole sex thing, what you'll know is that when people are not able to regulate their nervous system, like Stephen Port just pointed out in one of my courses, yeah, that's called, let me think, how can I say it? It's a person who doesn't understand what love is yet. And while I know everybody probably has the lusting, no, some of us don't lead with the lusting. We actively will have a different chemistry, so it might be called that chemistry, but well, that's right. We have great asexuals and asexuals for our polyamory community and those who are also in the asexual and gray sexual. And when people who are not aware of these things call us whores and masochists and all this other stuff, it's really not impressive. But then again, I get it because I didn't know a lot of words and I still don't. At the same time, I don't get offended if they call me any names because whore, masochist, really, it's not insulting when you have emotional mental intelligence. You see what I'm saying? Like, intelligence is not just a random word I'm choosing. It's because you're an integrated brain. And when somebody does notice, so why do I get irritated with fake people who are downers? Because they bring down the mood. No, because they're downers and faking it, and they're not healing themselves. They're not learning anything, but they want to tell me that they know what life is. I'm not acting as if I know what life is. I am a piece of life. I know how to be gentle with myself and then with others, and then I know how to watch and wait because, one, those of us who are again in communion with God, we're not actually questioning any of it. We know exactly where we're headed. Life is a mystery. So when they say that Jesus suffered for our sins, nobody is still talking about Lucifer. There's no Lucifer. You sing your own song, people. There's no monster decentralizing in the self proved it, or he's proving it still. So when they proved that epilepsy was not the wrath of the gods, we know epilepsy is not. And that's why when people instead want to continue talking about others as if they're demons and using those stories, you know who the ignorant ones are and who the ones that fall for it are, like my facade friend and anybody else who's a fakeo. So when I meet fake people, they don't know how to forgive. In fact, 4D doesn't actually have a nice description, some of them, of the sorcerer. Now I understand why. They suffer emotions. They don't know how to use their nervous system. They don't know because they don't know their child parts yet. So they actually don't know how to handle water, their emotions. So when you don't handle your emotional plane well, because the sound and the frequency of love isn't one you mastered yet, you're not really in the council of love, Venusian, and Akashic Records, you're not clearing any stories to bring forth the new and activate those lovely light codes. But some of us are, so get ready to rumble and rock and roll, my lovely 5D collective, not mine, but ours. And here's our Order of Melchizedek. We have an entire series dedicated to this order. For now, I haven't done any audio again because I need to get back to having the setup, which I don't, but Dharma is what we do, and it's really fun because it's just you using your prefrontal cortex. So again, integrated brains, we go with the flow, and we're restored, embodied, self-aware, accountable, regulating people. This is not a competition or, like, what is it called? There's no race. Some people, they just don't want to do what it is needed because they'd rather just use their mouths, and it's very unfortunate business when they do that because they really don't have to stay in that which is a low frequency. But voice activation, space, right? So space, Akash, there's a finger with Reiki, or was it not, with mudras that is dedicated to space. And then Sadhguru talks about space. And I like when he talks about things like our third eye too. These are really nice cards, aren't they? So while 4D gets lost in these stories, I actually enjoy sharing them because they do activate. But then there's also the human stuff that you get to understand. Because I know when I first started having the cards around, I was like, okay, nobody's ascending, nobody's growing lighter by the minute. I continue seeing people being mean to each other, and you continue talking about there being some kind of like change gonna happen. Big change, big change. There's no big change. Are you done talking about big changes that never take place? And so that's why when you're broken free from the 4D bandwidth, I remember because it happened, and then I got the description of it by a lady who's like, oh, look, we skipped the 4D. I was like, nope, you're it. We didn't skip it. And in fact, that person proved it to me when they're like, I would really appreciate it if you would blah, 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 because it takes me a lot of work and da-da-da-da-da to do my stuff. And it's like, okay, so are you actually looking for your community to applaud you for when you do work? Is this what this is? I mean, I didn't realize that they were the ones who needed to approve what you were creating. I thought you were the professional. That's how I think of professionals. It's that I know what I'm talking about. I don't need your approval. But here it seems like everybody wants to tell professionals what to do. No, it seems like people are trying to cheer each other on, which is a very different type of journey. Reassuring each other, or superheroes, supervillains, and super everythings. Do you know that that's the shittiest sales marketing pitch ever? And there are people who are still giving you that entire setup. I'm an online marketer and entrepreneur. I've always found it insulting when they have brought any of these pain point dragging around. I'm like, are you treating people like they're dumb? Because I don't need to manipulate people in order for them to want my services. They either will or they won't. I mean, I'm not planning on having anybody who's a stupid consumer, because why would I want that? Those are all actually people who don't know what to expect, which also means they're not emotionally or mentally intelligent yet. You know what emotionally and mentally intelligent people do once they were scammed? Right here. Okay, I was a buffoon. I should have known better. Damn it. Okay, but that was good. It was a good experience because I learned it, and I got pissy in my pants, but I still learned. So that's what happens when you're a grown up. You don't think somebody owed you something, even though does it mean that it was right? No, but nobody needs to stay irritated in the most immature way for the rest of their life. Your emotions don't manage you when you're your own master, you see? And then you're your own also enlightened one, because you're your own... You're your own self. So emotional intelligence, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to play with words a lot, as I always have. But this whole thing of us becoming our masters, I have to use the word mastery because there are those who are teaching you how to manage your emotions so that they don't manage you. And I'm like, yeah, my emotions have never managed me. I've participated consistently with it, and God is the one who's like, okay, hold back, and that's because probably my mom would be, okay, wait a minute, I'm not, that's because I'm just like all over the place all the time. Pleiadian, we're already here, the future humans, the Pleiadians. Yes, this is the human-like beings who honor the feminine and live in an advanced way that we on Earth, we're already experiencing it. These people don't know the somatic empaths, I do. And it's not the female body in its holiness, it's just all bodies. But yes, we do want the female body to be honored like the man body. Please, every body can be honored. And some people are still very sensitive, so they won't be hanging out here because we're not sensitive with words. If I get called things, I mean, yes, will I? No, I don't care. I'm 45. Like, at what point does... Well, wait a minute. I'm motivated differently. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting that. So personality patterns, I need to bring in the 9 domains of integration. No, the PDP framework and then the 9 domains of integration. Okay, so FYI, Maria is a securely attached, healthy self-worth, non-traumatized person. So this is where some people think I'm a bitch, I'm a witch, I'm an evil son of a whatever. It's okay. I have actually thought of every single bit of angles because I'm a perfectionist. I am irritable at times, which makes me really, really sound awful. In fact, I was going to share with you all one of the episodes. I said, no, this is not what I want to offer. So I'm going to look to tweak every single bit of wording to help me get to where I want to be, because I want to share with you all 5D mystic stories, but also being yourself. It leads to emotional, mental intelligence, love, and awe. So people who don't put their best foot forward, they are very much an irritation to me. That's why God is one, and consistent chiming in to me every now and then, besides when we have our conversations. Maria, he says, don't judge your brothers and sisters of human suffering, a waste of your fucking time. It's because he's reminding me to be grateful, to live my relationships with awe and splendor. And I'm like, I know you gave me a miracle, but I'm pro-choice because some people don't want that miracle. The ones who think that that makes me on the bad side, they have no integrity, which is why I don't care for their words. For they obviously didn't get text messages from people who wanted to kill themselves, and don't continuously see people being mean to each other, killing each other, and children who are being traumatized as we speak. So since they don't care to notice all the fear actual that happens out there in the world, I care to notice, and I care to say I'm pro-choice due to the fact that human beings don't seem to know how to handle their suffering. So much so that they made so many crappy movies and crappy games and crappy that they just cut each other up. They fuck each other and get STDs. They drink themselves to death. Let me think. It's not a monster. None of this has anything to do with a monster. No. So that's why it's not Luciferian era. Whenever somebody's wanting to use that word, I'm going to make sure you understand there's no monster. Stop dehumanizing and distancing yourself from people who actually got a short end of the stick. This is the thing. There's no scarlet letters. I don't need to hand one over here or over there. I can actually completely, with the truth, bring to you the balance. It's not disappointing. No, truth is actually quite enlightening. It's just some people don't like to hear it. That's why we don't need to cut cords. Thank you, Archangel Michael. He who is like God. Considered Source's right-hand man, Archangel Michael, who has chosen to guide and protect all light workers. Anyone who's feeling called, make a difference on the planet, will be guided and supported by him. The sword of light has been pictured as both a spear of light and a lightning bolt. Either way, it's a powerful symbol of truth and spiritual power. You bring no spiritual power when you are in a self-righteous, contemptuous, irritable butthole baton, which is why I didn't share the other episode, because me being irritated at people who are insecure and that got the short end of the stick isn't going to share with you the spiritual message. It's going to share with you Maria's message. That's not something we need to do here, because we're not having one of our meetings with mindful mindset practices where we can sit down, write letters, talk, use tone, do all that. That's the fun of emotional, mental intelligence, and you being yourself. The ones who need to first heal their child parts, they're doing great with their EMDR, child part somatics therapists. And that's why when I say broken, it's not because they're broken. It's because someone said the words. I'm writing a book because I want people to know that they're not broken, but they're fixable. So people who are doing it, it's really great. There's a bunch of people, hostile, doomsdayer, doer, are we good, ghost, please appeasers, hatch criers, fakos. Fakos. And they're only using words because they've learned books. You know how annoying it is to meet left-brainers alone? Because they don't contribute. They just use words. And they use pokety swords, by the way, because that's how insecure they are. So they're not fascinating. But they're not dangerous. In fact, they're, if anything, a joke. Joan of Arc invoked it when she was going to battle. So some people need to invoke ascended masters, archangels. I have them with me if I want to talk to them, but I don't need to invoke them because I talk to God all the time. So when you have this lovely journey, at least I'm going to share, so as a mystic, as a spiritual, as a mindful, as someone who loves learning, you find out everything you knew as a teenager, which is basically straightforward. You're good because you're a loving person. You're bad because you're not a loving person. Is it that black and white? No. You're kind because you're an emotionally, mentally intelligent, mature human being who understands self-reflection, awareness, and not to bring me you low self-esteem down to whatever the fuck's going on, and allow yourself to take care of your mood and whatever it is, the destructive mindset elsewhere. So that's, you see what I'm saying? So when people are suffering life, they can continuously project what is not a healthy interaction, which is why you don't really chime in. You allow yourself to differentiate, as Dr. Daniel Siegel pointed out, leave it alone so that the teenager can get it off their chest. You don't say, I'm a healer, I had to trauma dump, because that's not nice either. And this is why when I read the Enneagram, it says perfectionist, self-image, doesn't get angry. Oh no, I can get angry. I'm just very well informed. And why would I get angry with an immature person who had shit going on that's so shitty that they still live it as a grown human being with the adult pacifier And that's really, wow, now that they've given me this image, plus the loop, plus it's likely that they will not succeed even with willpower. I'm like, well, I mean, I know I've succeeded, but I got the good end of the stick. I have seen a bunch of the ones who apparently didn't get that good of end of stick, and yeah, they're not successful at any of it. They don't know commitment, they don't know intelligence, let alone did they notice they're aging, or that their distress is going to, continue to build up. And, well, I mean, hey, drinking, eating, watching shitty stuff, doing shitty stuff, and what do you want from me? It's normal that you're on a low frequency ride. You don't want to get out of that, which is a shadow doomsdayer kind of mentality, and that's why the destructive mindset. So when somebody thinks that by being lightning they're being strong, no, you're not. You're still modulated. I saw them. We need to be modulated. That was a no. Your sympathetic is bad for you. You're meant to be equanimous. You very not intelligent human beings who are being definitely deluded by their imagination and managed by their emotions. I just want to be aware that it's about what is right, now it feels right. Wow. I just want it to be a world where every single human being on the face of the planet knows we need fucking air to breathe and water to drink and food to eat. So I mean, really, if I were to analyze humanity at this moment in time, I would say we got a bunch of them that are completely derailed, like completely, but I know are more than just a handful of emotional, mental, intelligent minds. They're on it to the best of their ability. Furthermore, I do know, thank you God, that thanks to Enoch, he will not be, inundating the earth with water or whatever, and also no fire and brimstones. However, please remember we have dark matter, dark energy. But above all, actually, I asked him if I would be living a long life. So, I mean, if it brings you any kind of solace, he said yes. So I'm not worried about my death, the physical kind, because I'm actually caring to be alive right now. Oh, I'm grounded in reality also. And so here's where, when you're in communion with God, you don't ask questions. Empowered feminines have no question. So here's what it means. Let me tell you what it means. Give me a minute. So I loved every single one of my 0 to 45. I mean, I'm going to love every more of it. At a certain point in my journey as a mystic with the twin flames, yes, we don't have sagas, but you better bet it ain't that straightforward, especially since I didn't have attachment trauma education. So I knew, though, every step of the way, I was like, I know that God doesn't bring me anything that's crappy, because he doesn't work that way. And before I forget, here's what the 9 domains of integration, which is why you have a bunch of people who are not their true self. So ignore fakos, meaning leave them alone. Like my facade friend, thanks to him, I don't yell at anybody when they're being a fako. Thanks to emotionally immature being described to me like the back of my hand, their physiological state when they're being spiteful, when they're being low in their frequency, so any of it. Look at it like a practice. It's not a test. So you are the master or you're not. And this is why it's really amazing to choose love and awe and to respect God's wishes, because really it's not just respect, by the way. You can build bad karma. I know all about it. I'm in good karma now, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to enjoy it in the future, which is why I'm also physically mastering Dharma as we speak, because, as an Akashic record reader, I was mastering mental before Twin Flame 1 got. Then when Twin Flame 1 got, I got to start doing mental and then emotional. Twin Flame 2 and 3, definitely I was doing a bunch of emotional, and then 3 is when I was like, oh look, I'm in physical mastery now. Awesome. And now I'm still finishing it up, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing it for the rest of my life. So restored, embodied, self-aware, accountable, regulating people. Welcome aboard. Okay, integration of consciousness. Number 1, the part of the mind I can pause, and you can differentiate anxiety. Okay, so I can do that like when I have my panic attacks. Then we have vertical integration, and that's the awareness of the bodily sensations, interoception. Yes, like when I was eating all that food the first 3 days of my nutritionist diary, where I felt I said, I'm going to go to a hospital. I think I'm on sugar overload. That's what it means to have vertical integration. People who don't understand why we choose to stop venting, they don't have vertical integration yet. It's very unfortunate for them. I like having a relationship with my sensations, and I do have a breakage with them. That's why I like the panic attack stuff. So although light body, rainbow body, all that also definitely expands us. So it's really awesome. I had 2 Kundalini awakenings with the Twin Flame 3. So yes, they go really well. they don't go bad. You don't lose people. I've gained more people on my oversoul. The ones who don't want to be in my life, they're the ones who chose. It's only 2 human beings, and really it's in a matter of one, I was like 20, the other I forget, but I was like, I didn't lose anything. Anybody who doesn't want to be my friend after years of friendship means you didn't accept me for who I am. That means we're not friends to begin with, because yeah, I'm flawed and imperfect. I didn't ask you to change. I'm not changing. Are you unhealthily treating yourself? Okay, that's actually, if you're going to consider that change, okay, do you think I love you or not? I mean, really, I don't understand. So I don't change for people, because I'm actually mentally, emotionally, physically healthy. And so I can talk about the way I think and feel, and then I'm a goody two shoes. It's like anytime I get a list of items that I'm supposed to do, yep, I got it. I know what I'm doing. It's my life, not yours. Don't worry. I don't want to weigh down on society. I actually smoke cigars every now and then, a little bit of wine. I'm eating healthy now. I'm doing physical exercises, yes. I don't need to think of cancer because I'm a Reiki master, but even if you mind, leave me alone with the cigars. Do you smoke marijuana? I don't smoke marijuana. Did you do cocaine? Because you got holes in your head. Do you mind LSD? What are you going to do? Psychedelics? Which one? Are you eating junk food? So whenever people want to bug me about the bit of cigars, I don't say any of this to them. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is if you're going to be a pain in the ass to people, really, come on. So mental, emotional, physical, healthy people commit, because we know how it works. So we don't weigh down on society. We do understand healthcare is important. Apparently a lot of people, well, they don't care about their health. My facade friends, one of them, a functioning alcoholic, as he looks in my face telling me that he's doing his family favors, and I said, what, cirrhosis to the liver? My Pinocchio friends who said they're going to keep drinking all they are drinking, and I said, okay, you know I love you, right? Like, you want me to watch this? Yeah, I'm smoking. Yeah, I know, I got it. I smoke too and drink a little bit. I'm asking. You just told me in my face that you're pretty sure you're an alcoholic, and I'm your friend and I love you. So I'm just asking, what do you want me to do with this information? As I do love you. And then my other friend, I love you too. Or what do you want? What do you say? Like, what is this? Oh, come on, Maria. We're living intensely, and that's a very much older people, so they're actually older human beings. So when someone's talking to you about them hitting rock bottom, I don't think, oh my god, let me tell you how amazingly at awe. You know who I'm at awe with? This is who I'm at awe. This lovely man who was interviewed the other day. I need to find that. I want to spotlight this one. So he's a pastor. He knows how to talk about God and awe and the perfection that I was taught by my good Christian Catholic upbringing catechist, because I would never have promised anything had I been told that I would have to see what I see at times, which makes me very sad. So why am I sad? Because integrity, morality, and knowing what the right thing is means that anybody who is an integrated brain, restorative, embodied, self-aware, emotional, mental, physical health people are the integrity and morality. And anytime somebody's saying, I'm going to dismantle modern day therapists and talk about them like shit, sure you are. Keep your old ways and whatever, stop. Just give it a rest. Like they created an entire, it's not even funny. I can't even believe how many people are so ignorant to the point of believing pseudo-intellectuals and dogma people. And these are people that have also gone to college. It's not even, I can't laugh at stupidity, because I can be stupid. This is like beyond I'm so sorry, I forgot. Thank you, Stephen Porges. Shit, I keep forgetting. That's right. As he pointed out, that's why this guy, I'm doing great. After everything you told me, I'm doing great. You all know the stories. I'm like, wow, I mean, it was better when I was a teenager. At least they were immature because that was their age group. Now I'm around a bunch of grown-ups. Think they're grown-ups and they're not. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 3, bilateral integration. And that's where, when it's impaired, we have a situation that's not really great. Memory integration. So memory is implicit and explicit, and that one actually is really fascinating. But there has to be, for some people, a pause. It's a very important job, and honorable for when people do heal. So the hippocampus can be blocked for excessive cortisol releases during the traumatic event. Adrenaline also increases. So that's why It's amazing when people are taking care to go heal themselves. Then there's narrative integration. So this part, you have to make sense of the memory, which is the part that people don't make sense of when they don't have their mental, emotional, and physical health seriously in the forefront. So when you meet fake people like my facade friend, they don't ever become their real self. They stay their teenage versions, like my Pinocchio friends, which I love to death. And again, I'm not going to go shaming because that doesn't have anything to do with society. So those who want to still use shaming, they were shamed, which is why they're so rigid, unforgiving, and chaotic. And that's why they are fake. And they're also downers because they don't know how to stay on a high. So they need not be near us necessarily to perceive all of our ventral energy, because we are powerful. Those who are empowered are powerful. Those who are not empowered are not powerful. They're beneath the neutrality frequency. Those who are pretending by using words and not noticing their own frequency when they get irritated, and then to not notice that. So when people get triggered into either mobilization defenses or shutting down, they develop elaborate narratives to make sense of what their body is doing. This is Stephen Porges. And as he points out, these are physiological states. So when you meet all these great therapists, they explain to you why these people are suffering. I want to explain to them. No, I don't. I'm explaining it to you because this is where we do emotional, mental, physical growth since we're healed. Emotionally immature people, they just want this. You don't have to validate any of them. You don't have to do this or this. You give them a hug, you love, accept, respect them, and you leave them alone, like my facade friends, all of them. They know that you respect them because it's not faking it. I will authentically respect your choice. It's called free will. Like this man of this video that I watched in his interview. As he's being told by God, don't judge. And I'm like, yep, I know that word. It's like when God says, hey, Maria, don't judge your brothers and sisters. The difference is I'm not judging what they're doing, good or bad. I'm judging, don't waste my fucking time. And he is chiming in to remind me, whose time is it? Yours. Okay, so did you choose? Okay, so are you going to take awareness, accountability that you chose to? So this is where you choose the relationships you build. Then if we bring in Source, Akash, Anima Mundi, and the Oversoul, now we have an even bigger picture, because I will have met another with the capacity to know that I'm being brought a gift as an Akashic record reader and spiritual one. And it is because we're all the same frequency. So what is my opportunity? Well, my opportunity is to continue integrating Maria, have the true integrity, look in the face of a person who's being disrespectful, dishonorable, lacking complete integrity, morality, being a doomsdayer, downer, and all of it, and smile in their face as I notice, to recalibrate, differentiate, like Dr. Daniel Siegel taught you, because it ain't your nervous system that's on a downhill. It's theirs, and they don't want to do anything about it. And so what did God say? Mind your own business, free will. Yep. It ain't no monster in front of me. Nope. It's a body that decided to do something called ignore the signs that they are a destructive negative mindset. And that's because they have a destructive negative emotional pattern. And that's because they didn't get the beginning of their life to learn what self-regulation is. So love and awe. So the difference with this lovely man that I'm going to tell you about, and what I get to contemplate as I'm talking to you, is be yourself the real way. Otherwise, get out of my way. And if you don't, it's okay. I'll smile so much and so hard that eventually you'll have to make one of two choices. And it's pretty straightforward, because people don't want to be around ventral energy when they suffer life, because they can't handle the frequency. You see, it's not I'm being protected. No, they can't handle it because their body is wanting to return home to themselves. Their home, though, is scary. It's a very sad. So you go go take a course where you get to watch what happens to disorganized attachment child. It's not funny. That's why I understand the therapist. But in the meantime, I got a bunch of buffoons that I get to watch on YouTube, which is why I'm like, yeah, okay, let me tell you straight up. Emotional, mental, intelligent people, they're not going to go talking to losers. We're going to watch as they find lightning and have a good time. In the meantime, stay out of our way, because we have better things to do with our life than to be in the dumps because you don't know how to get it up and don't want to. Because that's how it does work at a certain point. So I have fun with people that I accept, love, and respect. But when you're giving cirrhosis to the liver to your family, I can't hide that truth. Okay, dude, come on. And I'm not trying to shame you. That's the reason my friends don't take offense, because they know it. And the ones who, well, they have second guessing, it's okay, because I won't be their friend, that's for sure. that means that they're actually even more in the dumps than those people, because at least those people welcome themselves. So they've had some kind of an honest conversation with themselves about it. So they are okay with people telling the truth in their face. The other ones have a chip on their shoulder. They're lying to themselves. They want to be welcomed, given an approval. I ain't approving you. What do you want? I'm not your mommy, daddy, or anything. And you continue to be spiteful. There's a man that I thought was going to get on a bandwagon of help, and he didn't. It was really sad. And the last time I got to interact with him, I noticed something. And I continue to try and not think about what I noticed, because I really hope that I noticed wrong. So I'm going to leave that out, because that's what makes me upset about people. Trauma is not an event, trauma is a response. But that doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize the person and call them a monster, because they're not. They're a person who actually could be healed if they chose to go heal. Interpersonal integration. So state integration is energy, emotions, behavior. Then we have interpersonal, parents, friends. So these are the 7, 8? Temporal integration, that's right. Existential issues of life. And then the 9th is identity integration. So messages of who we are. And those are the 9 domains. So there's a lot of very important topics, obviously, which is why I understand that everybody's in a different spot. But when you understand SPA, sensation, perspective, agency, and you have the capacity to own it. So some people are a lot more, moderate with all of this. I'm not moderate, because I just feel that there's no need for me to be that, since I know about attention, awareness, and kind intention, and sense of connection fills the awareness. And because I do personal and spiritual growth, I'm not a therapist. So I'm here for when you are ready to do more and to actually bring forth your spirituality, which is why I play with words. When I say like emotionally healthy spirituality people, it's because it's a keyword search. So yeah, I can talk all about it right here. It's called We Have Emotions. It's not we're right or wrong. And it's called We Spot Those Who Lack Integrity, Commitment, because they completely think they can tell everybody else how to live their life, and then they cast stones on each other. Oh, and they're part of the whole in and out group people. So they're uninteresting. They don't know how to be their own sorcerer, their inner child. They don't know their water, their emotions. They can talk a lot of talk, but they're not going to actually be doing love or awe. Function or child adults, we find solutions because we love to talk and walk together in life as our true, authentic, higher selves, anchored in ventral energy with emotions and thoughts that mature, expand, and consciously continue to contribute to our evolving human and consciousness herd. So when I have to have a fako and a downer, go away from me. Leave me alone, because negative people, they have a problem for every solution, and you're also people who don't believe, not you, but they don't believe in humanity. I do believe in humanity. I'm a human. Stop offending me. It is personal when you're offending my entire species. It's also personal when you continue to re-traumatize yourself and you're in a low frequency and you don't want to do anything about it. So that's how I feel about people who want to talk to me about, it's hard. Nobody said it was easy, but don't talk to me about topics that are political, religious, if you don't know how to be an emotionally mature person yet. Yet I've met them all over the place, like in college. So when you meet people who think they know integrity, but then they don't show it at all, it'll be very clear why. They don't know how to walk a walk and talk a talk, because they only know how to use fancy words, but then they don't know how to get on a high when they're doing life. So that's the part of why Dr. Amy Apigan, as she mentions, you can do bad resilience, and that's what people who don't know how to wield their nervous system do. So it's not fun to watch people as they fake it, because you know what's happening on the inside. And that's where you can't prove it to them, but I know the difference between eustress and distress. Eustress is nice, distress is not. When I stopped venting, it was because I actually could tell that the energy was like yuck, and I was like, I'm not really getting anything from this, and I'm also disrespecting like an entire an entire group of people. There's no need to. They're not my business. You know, everybody does what they want to do in life, and so do I. So there's laws that protect us. We don't have to be telling each other what to do. So when someone's out in the desert and you get the call from God to be the bridge, as you'll be sent there, you don't question it, and you don't think God's testing you. There's no dead end. There's always only one of two choices when you're going to go help someone, and that's, you can be a lover Or you can be a fake-o. And the fake-os are the ones who are like my facade friend. They just want a comfortable blanket. They want somebody who's secure and whatever. So they play shadow and light and shadow and light. In the meantime, we're the true self, so we are the ones for ourselves. I got to learn all about that. The one, the ones, and then the ones. And that's because you love yourself first. And you don't stay in a cave with Plato or whatever and then pretend like you know a bunch of things. There's a bunch of people that they like to just quote fancy books, but then they don't know what life is. As if they knew what life was, then they would stop actually acting like buffoons. And so with that, here's Sadhguru. Obliteration of darkness is the nature of light. May your inner light grow to illuminate you and all that you touch. And he wishes you a dazzling Diwali to you. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but love and blessings. And so when you are at awe, before I forget, where's that lovely interview? You will actually always think of, one, the lovely people that you get to meet. Two, you do remember that nobody chooses, obviously, to have any kind of trauma. So that's three. There's therapists out there helping people. So either they're going to be healed and they'll join us, or they won't be joining us because they won't want us to be all gooey. They'll think we're fake. So this one is Jeffrey Olson. It reminds us that even in the light, we're given choice. To collapse into guilt or to return and choose love. That's not just a story. It's not just... So it's Goosebumps' most detailed near-death experience ever recorded, pastor and his family. This man, he is so amazing as he's talking about how he moved into, you need to listen it. I'm not going to share it. So that's where he knows who God is. So he's one of those who... Unlike spiritual bypassers who I've met who want to continue talking about energy entities and dark auras and vampires and all that other stuff, those twin flame things, yes, twin flames are real, but not in the way that they've made the story. So when people, instead of integrating their brain, are using stories, that's why I'm not a storyteller in the same way. When I see Pinocchio, it's because it's Pinocchio, what's up? Hey, Cusco, you having a good time? Are you being your lover today? Or are you your own siren? Is you really not fascinating to me? And if you're in the dumps, the people who don't want to get their destructive mindset in a inner growth mindset, they will continue saying it's not mindset, it is mindset, because the mindset gets you to go and take care of the rest. Then the rest is told to you. It doesn't mean it's easy. It means you're going to continue to commit to you being able to reduce the trauma to the extent of where it is no longer charged, as lovely Patrick Chan points out. So the ones who are healing know it's possible. The ones who don't want to, they don't have to. Earth star activation, throat chakra, speaking our truths, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational frequency. The ones who are keeping us divided just by choosing that they want to own books, I mean, that's really unimpressive. But then again, Stargate, it's not like it's never happened before. Lovely heart chakra opening up. But I can say that I've been lucky and blessed, and that there is the one timber of God. So if you're curious, I'm the co-author of the book, The Ways to God. So there's 9 spiritual authors. And my chapter is called God is Discerning, Equanimous Love. I share with you my good Christian Catholic upbringing, my self-agency, the fact that I didn't realize I already had clairs. There's spiritual gifts, neuroscientists look into it. It's the sphere of consciousness. And the fact is, when I was awakened to them, I didn't say I'm anointed. I'm more special. In fact, when people use that word, I said, we're not anointed. We're not more special. You realize we got the good and the stick, right? Like in this lifetime, because we don't know what we got in other lifetimes. Then I got to see some of my past lives, a bunch of them future lives, and a bunch of these people also got to see a bunch of things. So when you remember, it doesn't mean anything. You're using good, bad, and out. What are you doing? Stop. You have a human name. Use it. Great. Whatever was in the past was in the past. You don't need to bring it back to life. Are you dressing up as yourself? Are you dressing up as some fictitious character? What are you doing right now? It's called distortion. This is called the fake people, the maladaptive ones, the ones who don't learn how to use their prefrontal because they're distancing themselves because they haven't gone to heal their first 3 years of life. The sacred journey and the transformation happens with a therapist for those who need to. Those who don't need it, we're here right now as true, authentic self people say, okay, Thank goodness we have grounded in reality, emotionally intelligent, mentally intelligent, monoamory, polyamory, mystic, spiritual, mindful, all of them. And why do I keep talking about all the immature ones? Because they're obviously the ones who are populating our YouTube the most. As they have so much to say, and they always use clickbait and those titles. And like, ah. So I get to spot them, and then we get to make fun of it, and then we get to join each other and do a little dance, do a little love, do a lot of talking. And that doesn't mean that we're doing any kind. No, we don't do that kind of stuff. I know that there's a lot of different types of events, and when I have heard of it, I've asked who are the therapists who are officially in the premises. There's not just anyone. No. I need to know which neuroscience, neurotherapy, all of them, the good mental health, which ones are working with you, because there's a mystic shaman out there who says to people, don't go to therapy. I'll save you 10 years. He doesn't say don't go to therapy, but so I like to make people aware, when someone is organizing any kind of event that involves the body and the mind and they don't have good therapists there, like the good ones, that's to me a sign, okay, I don't know if you're attachment trauma educated. If you were, then you would take this a lot more seriously. Pretty sure you didn't hear how Peter Levine talks about muscles, bones, and tissues storing your trauma, or maybe you don't believe him, and that when you move one little piece, the rest continue to unravel, and that once that unravels, you have to put to the side the Kundalini Lumen awakenings, because I'm just thinking of all these people who don't know how to handle their nervous system yet. Because they are on, off, and I perceive people's brains. So when it's on and off, I'm like, oh shit, okay, are they paying attention to me? Because I know I can perceive cerebral activity, and I'm pretty sure I'm in the presence of it. It feels like they're off. And it's not funny, because they're actually in dorsal vagal shutdown, because people who are dysregulated don't know how to self-regulate. And I notice this, but then they actually are hearing me, and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out like what the tell is, because otherwise I'm going to keep thinking they're not listening to me. And it feels odd. I need to learn to differentiate better, Dr. Daniel Siegel. So again, it's really fun to be in love with life and at awe and the perfection of God as we go. And that's why he is very good at reminding everyone who is a child that hears and that loves and that feels. And that's, okay, you're not me, don't play me. And it's not because you're subject to. Source Akash Anima Mundi, it has a very specific way of letting you know, And so the people who don't notice that when they judge each other, there's this one Akashic record reader, she was judging mediums. They're nosy. No, they're not. They tap into the sphere. They're part of it. What are you talking about? Are you being do you think it's your energy? Is somehow you think that you own it? Whoa, are you stingy by any chance? I think that you don't know that it's of everybody. So it's like with the water, and yeah, it just makes me think of Pocahontas now. And I don't know if the movie is still being shown or not, because I don't know how things work anymore. I get lost with it. So at the end of the day, though, which one was it? The Winds. So it's very sad to say that we didn't forget where we come from. It's that we have a bunch of traumatized people that are afraid of nature because their own homes were dangerous. So their bodies are dangerous. I don't want to hug a tree. I want to hug a human. You wanting to hug a tree tells me that you don't love humans, which means that you don't love me. No, it's all the other humans. Okay, sure. Well, I'm still a human. Means that I might be your enemy one day. You're not going to convince me. I'm going to leave it alone because you're convincing yourself that it's okay. But I know that it's not about trusting all people, meaning are you blind? No, it's about recognizing if you feel so uncomfortable hugging human beings, that actually means that you're uncomfortable with skin to skin. And so it's like, again, a very telltale sign, like when people don't like being around people. I scan a room, so stay at home. Okay, isolation, I think they were saying, is like worse than smoking cigarettes. Like it'll give you a heart attack or something. So we don't have a crisis at hand. We have awareness finally, and then we have two groups. The ones who are doing something to bring forth the ventral energy, and that's where anchoring our lovely Earth Star, Isis energy. Although I know that people don't like words, I still use words though. Throat chakra, I don't know anything about if it's a goddess. Let me look her up. Clarity. So I know some people, they actually just hear these words and then they think it's something bad. And so here she is. One of the most important goddesses in ancient Egyptian religion, known as the goddess of motherhood, magic, healing, and fertility. And she was the daughter of the earth god Geb and sky goddess Nut, the wife of Osiris and the mother of Horus, a popular figure who was celebrated for her intelligence and magical abilities. Her cult spread throughout the Roman Empire. So there you go, mythology. Famous myth about her involves her husband, Osiris. After her brother Seth murdered and dismembered Osiris, Isis used her magical abilities to find his parts, reassemble him, which allowed him to become the ruler of the afterlife. Interesting. And so, with that being said, the people who are still very picky with words and think that we worship cards when we don't, we use cards, we tap into the energy sphere, and at the end of the day, I mean, I already knew that it would be 3D, 4D wouldn't be joining us, but it still doesn't mean it's like a great thing, but it is a thing. So at the end of the day, though, thanks for stopping by. We will be back with more. I enjoyed sharing with you a bunch of different pieces of information. Be yourself, emotionally intelligent, mentally intelligent, love and awe. And as for the rest, I know we're getting there because 5D is here. It's happening. And yeah, 4D, 3D, they have a different journey. They can join the frequency, though. They have all that which it takes. It's called All You Need Is Love, and integration of yourself and loving yourself, and then choosing to consistently rise above. And so yes, EMDR, chart parts work, somatics, yes. And then, yes, I want to do more personal and spiritual growth. Yes, I want to continue doing that, which is something, well, again, for me, the frequency is completely what I'm used to. So I'm not fighting against Maria and the ventral vagal state, if that makes sense. That's the part. So I get it. For some people, it just feels weird. Actually, I have a friend of mine, and when I asked, how does it feel to be, at ease, and like, well, it feels a little weird. It's like, okay, cool. It's a little weird. So for me, it's weird. Other things are weird, but I'll save that for our next. You'll find out. I'm gonna leave you hanging. Ha ha. See you later, alligators.